Well, we're about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense. Good job there. Pretty simple. The hole was created. Runner just darted right through.
Yeah, that's kind of play teams are looking for to have some success early in a ball game. And if you're an offensive play caller, you mark that run down. Make sure you keep coming back to it throughout the game until they stop it.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Tua sets up to pass it. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On play action, here's Tua. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Powers through it. And they'll get this down to the 10. 43 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play.
Touchdown, Dolphins! Jalen Waddle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Hall to start the drive. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Just 34 yards on the punt there. No return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Another catch there for Waddle. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. And the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it?
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack.
If you rank 1 from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, 1 from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31 and 32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
The limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. 13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. To throw is Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Bush. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. Watch out for Hill on the return. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And they will take over first and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here we go. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked up by Amani Hooker.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
On first and 10, it's Hall.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Breece Hall, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets have cut it back within a score.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 13-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Tua.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Barr.
Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers, but in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Tua. That'll be complete to Dobbins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
Tua now on first down. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Let's go.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. They blitzed there, but to be honest, I don't know if it would have mattered had they blitzed or not. That run play was going nowhere.
Man, it's really, really difficult at times to figure out where that defense is coming from. But if you're committed to running the football, you can get people up on those linebackers, right? Those guards don't have to...
Touchdown, Dolphins! Jalen Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to extend their lead. And oh, it's no good. For the second time now in his first half, he's missed an extra point. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This one fielded at the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Hall. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Jerome Baker there on the tackle. The Jets at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season. And they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot, find a way to win some games, and keep moving forward.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They go quickly here out to Moore. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Seibert's kick is good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Tua. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time, and it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And that will be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. 102 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here, get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll go again with Hall. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Here we go.
They go play action with Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Seibert able to knock this one through, and that'll move them back within 6 now.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
From the 27, Wilson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
On third down, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
from the 35 on second down. Tua flushed out right. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise him with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a first down. Gotta love that efficiency.
Here's a give to Dobbins. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Tua going to throw. And that is incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. And when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this will stay a one-score game as the lead will hold at 6.
Those are the kicks that you worry you might have to confront again in the end. You had a chance to go up by 2 scores here in the third quarter, but your kicker can't convert.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 22. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Tua.
And he's got his big tight end here.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Play action. Now it's Tua. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down. So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coaches.
Ball has it knocked loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tua. Touchdown! Jalen Waddle from 13 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Squeeze, get in there.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And getting this just shy of midfield, they spotted at the 49. 129 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. He's done his part sailing past the century mark on the ground with rushing yardage, but his team, a different story.
Yeah, they're down big in this ball game, so sometimes you wonder to yourself how much of that is him with a great performance and how much of that is
the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now Wilson. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And some room to work. And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5. That's a whale of a game.
Ready up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
1-3 rail. Ready.
Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll get this down only to the 18. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about it. And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
Ready.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Ball again on 2nd down. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Option play, here's Hall. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Hall again. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Call again on 2nd down. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. They'll run with Hall. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
The slot man in motion right. Here's Hall again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Paul on a give up the middle. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This from 34. Oh, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good. And they will remain well behind.
Boy, that's 3 points you really expect to have. That's nothing more than a lack of concentration to me because an NFL kicker should make this kick in his sleep.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Tua going to keep it running left. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Dolphins, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll